Support for the Players, the Pop Culturist PlayStation podcast, is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the ultimate men's hygiene bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code FTP at au.manscaped.com. If my math is correct, and it might just be, that's about 8 million balls.
For the Players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And this is For the Players, the Pop Culturist PlayStation podcast. For 40 years of playing PlayStation, 10 plus years in the game's medic. But I'd like to thank you for joining us in this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to take part in future conversations with us, you can. Come and check out our socials. Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and Twitter. All of those links can be found in the description below.
If you want to join us as the conversation happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopculturist, where you can watch us record the show live. You can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can by telling your friends, telling your families about this PlayStation pod. If you are listening to us on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you are listening to us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. And if you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopculturist, as well as our merchandise store, popculturist.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. Or you can help support the brands that help support us, just like Manscaped. But we'll talk about Manscaped a little bit later. Now, Max, I just received an important SMS.
I'm watching
Pertinent
it now.
message. That message is, last week, you and I were sitting here bullshitting about what your character would be in TCW. Now, a refresher for anyone that didn't check in last week. TCW, Twitch Championship Wrestling. It's a promotion, a pretend Twitch wrestling promotion ran by my friend Mad Dog Nathan, where we get created into WWE 2K22, and then he tells stories and has matches or whatever, all with us. Over the week, we discussed it. And like, Max, you're going to be our manager. You want to look like essentially a fucking bowling ball with a luchador mask on. Actually, you pitch what you and Craig spoke about.
I mean, basically, you summed it up pretty well. We had the discussion of we wanted it to match somewhat close to what I look like. So it's a short dude that's quite rotund, and I'm like, I want to picture a graceful bowling ball flying through the air and then just destroying whoever it lands on. Yeah. And Craig's like, just give me 2 seconds, and here we are.
And he did a bloody good job. Like I saw the pre-release, I saw the final release, and he did a really good job. It looks tidy. So as I said, the Team PopC, we're Pop Corporate now. We've gone heel. We're all in suits. You've come in as our manager, which is great. So apparently on TCW this very second. So if you go over to MadDog_1992, if you are obviously watching the show live right now, please don't. But if you're watching it when this episode goes live, go check it out. I'm wrestling right now. Max is ringside. Hopefully he's doing some shenanigans.
I mean, you're not doing well.
I don't tend to do well. We'll find out. Your boy Murdoch in the chat goes, wrestling, never heard of it. Not at all. Not like Murdoch is himself a tag team champion. Literally. How do you look ringside? Do you look good ringside?
I haven't seen myself yet.
I'm going to have to go back post-show and have a squiz, I think. I think I need to see how this looks. I just want to see, when you walk out with me, you're all like, hey, pointing, look at how good this guy is, or are you still in the spotlight? Are you kind of like Paul Heyman, like you're in the shadows, but you're there, you're not? And I'm very excited to see how that turns out. How's your week been?
Not too bad.
Yeah?
It's just been a week. Still going through the motions. Work is kind of all over the place. I'm in a position where, everyone's kind of come back to the office, but kind of hasn't come back to the office. So Some days I'm super busy, and some days I'm just, autopilot with headphones on. It's yeah, it's been fun. I've been super run down this week. I've been more tired than I usually am, but I'm not getting any less sleep than I normally would. I think it's all just finally catching up with me.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of schnoozing this weekend, which was awesome.
Very nice.
How's your week?
Yeah, it's just week. My weeks will kind of blur together at this point. Day's a day, and work is work, and it's stressful in a number of different ways. But I had the boy, had my son last night, which was awesome. I had him yesterday and today. So we went to the skate park again, which was awesome. We just dicked about town, looked at some toy shopping and Nerf guns and Lego and all the things that I don't have the money to buy him or myself. We had a donut together, just kind of mucked around. We did our own wrestling in the lounge because he loves that shit. He kicked the crap out of me with a pillow like it was a steel chair. And to his credit, he obeyed the rules of the chair shot, which is if you're on all fours, you can take that shot like a champion. But if you're on your back, do not hit them with the chair, because that means don't hit me. The second I rolled around, like, badoosh, that motherfucker don't care. He wrecked my day. But yeah, other than that, yeah, not a whole lot. All I'm looking forward to is next week. So next Saturday, we're recording. So we'll be recording live next Sunday. Pretty much going to be doing Sundays moving forward, everyone. If for those that are listening not live, we've always wanted if they had wanted to check out the show live but couldn't because it was 4 o'clock on a Saturday. Nah, it's likely going to be either 4 or 8 on a Sunday night, depending on what we're doing. So like next week, I've got the wrestling show here in Geelong for my friends at Deathmatch Down Under. They're here at doing Melee at the Palais. So I'll be working all day on the Saturday, doing the ring setup as I normally do. Doing my first day officially, quote unquote, in training for Audio Visual Man. I'll be watching the previous individual do it, even though I did it like 2 shows ago without any major problems. I still got to see how they do it. Yeah. And that's gonna be awesome fun. And then the week after, I've got another wrestling show here in Melbourne. That one's the Renegades of Wrestling, also run by other friends of mine. So my weekends is just mostly wrestling these days. Look, whether it's work, whether it's just existing, or it's just me going to wrestling. The only things that I have left is I barely have time to actually play games. Saying that though, I did play some games this week. I did, after talking about it last week, Unpacking. I rolled credits on Unpacking this week. It's like my 5th credits for the year, which is really disappointing for the just shy of mid-year. Not very good. Per month? Yeah, it's not very good numbers. It's not good. They're rookie numbers. I got to pump them up. That's what I got to do. But Unpacking is awesome. It's a lot of the beats that I hit last week pretty much on point, as in it's very subtle storytelling in the way that it's just environmental storytelling, as in like as you begin to unpack the boxes and put the house together, you see this story that is getting told, which is a kid, and then a teenager, then goes to university, that then gets their own place, then gets into a relationship and moves into their house, and that relationship falls apart, and you end up back at your parents, and then from the parents you get your own place again, then someone moves in with you, and then you get to move to your forever home, and that's where it ends. And it's really good and really kind of sweet. Made me cry, and I talked about that last week. But most things make me cry at the moment. So, it was good to see credits on it, and I really really enjoyed it. And for like what, $30, 100% worth the dollars. 100% worth the dollars. I'd pay it again easily. But other than that, I just played some more Red Dead, rootin' tootin' cowboy shooting. I'm in chapter 4 now, which is by far the furthest I've ever gotten that game. That happened literally just, probably like 20 minutes before I started recording. We jumped in the chat tonight to record the show. I got to chapter 4. It's, Saint Denis, or Saint Denis, or Saint Denis, or whatever the fuck do I want to pronounce it. But so that's all moving forward. Other than that, the only thing I have been doing is I've began an unhealthy addiction to Candy Crush. I wanted something that was brain numbing.
That's a bold strategy for someone with
my neurodivergencies.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
I was like, I needed something, and I wanted something different. I'm like, I just want a simple pattern game.
I want something different. Picks Candy Crush.
Yeah, but it's not something that I don't play mobile games, and I haven't in forever. And it's something different in that it's nothing else like I'm playing. I want to just escape from my brain for a little while, and that is Candy Crush. I don't have to think about it. It's just patterns. It's fun.
Fair enough.
I haven't spent any money yet, and I have no intentions to do so.
Keyword being yet.
Yet. What have you been playing this week, Max?
Oh man, I've been playing so much this week. Most of it was last night. So again, still Diablo 2 will now take a back go to the back burner because as of Tuesday the new Destiny 2 season launches. So I'll have a bunch of new content to dive into, which is awesome fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing a little bit more of Weird West.
Oh yeah, you went back to a bit more Weird West. Nice.
That game is still awesome. I'm super not very good at it, so I love the fact that you can just quick save in the middle of combat and be like, that did not work as well as planned. Reload. It's very forgiving, so that's nice. So last night, one of my friends is heading to Europe for a couple of months, so we had a bit of a catch up, and we played the new Crash Team Racing.
Wow! The one from like middle of last year before.
One. Yep. So we played that for a bit. We played Sports with Friends, that really old PS4 game or PS3 game that came out like years ago, that had like the wacky jousting and all those little party games. We played that for about an hour. That was great. We played Star Wars, which was another PlayStation Plus game like a bajillion of years ago where you tried to stab each other's heart with your narwhal horn. It was, basically just like a bunch of random BS that I just had sitting in my collection that's split screen multiplayer, because apparently that just doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't. And there's a couple of different reasons for that. One, that makes people buy one copy of a game, and that's not financially viable. Additionally, like as games get higher in quality, trying to render them twice in one screen is just kills consoles. Like Call of Duty, trying to run split screen Call of Duty just chugs a PS4. Even a PS4, like a PS4 Pro. I haven't seen it be done on a 5 yet, but like it tanks like the frame, everything on a PS4. It's disgusting.
So that was all in good fun. I've also played about 10 minutes of the Jurassic Park, whatever the new one is.
Oh, Jurassic World Evolution?
Yep, Jurassic Park Evolution. I downloaded it this afternoon.
Yeah, it's like Age of Empires, like Roller Coaster Tycoon or with dinosaurs. It's dope.
Yeah, I played like 5 minutes of it. I haven't really, not too much. And then the last one that I do a run of every day is Slay the Spire, which was I think this month's PlayStation Plus game.
It was.
And it's a roguelike deck builder, and it's great. I own it on now PlayStation as well as PC because I bought it yonks ago when it hit early access on PC. It's good fun.
But there is one other thing you have been playing though, right?
Yeah, there is. So earlier this week, I signed up for the Multiversus alpha.
So for those who don't know, Multiversus is Warner Brothers Smash Brothers. Super Warner Brothers is what they should have called it. I saw that on Twitter today. I was like, fuck, that's a good name.
So, like you just alluded to, it's basically Super Smash Brothers with a list of Warner Brothers characters. So you've got, I think it's like Jake and Tim from Adventure Time. There's Shaggy. There's Batman, Wonder Woman,
Arya Stark, Steven Universe is in there.
The Iron Giant. So not all of these characters are available in the alpha. But it plays exactly how you would think a Super Smash Brothers game will be played. The same context applies. The aim is to knock the other players off the map.
Mm-hmm.
They have a similar, instead of using a percentage bar below the character to determine how far they get hit, it's just a normal number counter. So the higher the number, the further they fly when they get knocked. It's essentially the same button layout. You have your directional standard attacks, your directional special attacks, your neutral attacks. Everything is exactly what you would expect, as if they kind of just copied and pasted it a little bit. There are a few little nuances. The main way this game wants to be played is in a 2v2 scenario. So there's a fair few of the characters that are set up as essentially support units who seem to be very weak on their own, but when paired with a partner, they are very strong. There's one in particular, I think it's like this weird dragon thing. And it basically has a super long tongue that can just instantly recover your teammate if they're falling off the map. You just drag them back onto the map. It's fantastic. So you can use that risk reward of, I'm going to jump off the map to hit them down, knowing that my teammate can save me with ease. So it's kind of fun. I've played a little bit of it, not too much. I haven't unlocked any of the characters. Most of the characters seem very easy and simplistic to use to begin with, although I haven't tried everyone out. I've mainly played Shaggy, which is fine.
Now, as someone
I believe it's launching as a free-to-play title next month or the month after. So,
nice. As someone that is a bit of a seasoned Smash player, and you also dipped your toes into Nickelodeon All Stars, which kind of died in the ass. I haven't heard anything about that in a while. How do you find this fits within that side-scroller, beat-em-up, brawler space? Like, how does it go compared to The King, which is Super Smash Bros.?
I found it to be, and I think I put this in the chat with our group, I find it to be much more... So, Super Smash Bros. Is very fast-paced, both on in-ground and aerial combat. Mm-hmm. In this game, it is very floaty. So, in the sense that, similar to Super Smash Bros., you have a jump, a double jump, and then an up special attack, which is normally an extra recovery move to help get height.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can then air dodge, but once you've air dodged in Super Smash Bros., for the most part, you can't do anything once you've dodged in the air until you hit the ground or until you've been hit. In Multiversus, you get 2 air dodges and then can still do your double jump afterwards.
So it's a lot more like in Tekken, like a lot of juggling potential.
Yeah, so it does seem a lot more floaty when in air combat. But for the most part, they feel pretty similar. Graphic style wise, Multiversus is much more cartoonish than what Smash Brothers is. Mm-hmm. The colors are very bright and vibrant and that over the top cartoon style, whereas obviously Smash Bros is a little bit darker to a degree. Mm-hmm. But if you love the characters, if you're a fan of those, brawler beat 'em ups, it's a free-to-play title. It does look like it could be filled with microtransaction dollary dues. Because
if it's going free-to-play, it's going to have to be, right?
Because there's obviously each character has skins, they have different taunts, they have different power-ups that you can equip before battles. There you have to you can earn in-game currency to unlock characters. At the moment, I would imagine that there's probably a way to just buy them straight up. There's no split-screen multiplayer at the moment, but apparently it will be available at launch. It's only online multiplayer at the moment, which is fine. The games aren't too terrible to find. I found a couple of online games fairly easily. The lag's not too terrible, which is a problem with Smash Bros. Because Nintendo have an atrocious online system. But yeah, it's not too bad.
So
for an alpha, it's not horrible.
So essentially, it
has potential.
You're comparing it to Nickelodeon All Stars, which the entire idea was, it's Smash but Nickelodeon, and that clearly didn't move the needle. Is the sentence, it's Smash but Warner Brothers? Is that enough?
I feel that Warner Brothers probably have a bigger pull than what Nickelodeon does as a...
Because they really had Nicktoons. That was it.
Yeah, whereas, Warner Brothers will have, like, the Looney Tunes, the DC universe now. They've got, the Game of
Thrones, yeah.
Characters. They've, they could throw some Harry Potter in there, I guess.
They could put Harry Potter in there.
I think Warner Bros. Are Harry Potter.
They are
Harry Potter lads. So they have potential to throw some pretty cool stuff in there. It's just whether or not it works as a.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, I'm glad. Like, because if it comes out next month, or whatever, and it's free to play, might worth checking out. Like, we did receive a code for Nickelodeon at the time, so that was kind of cool. It's just one of those things. Like, I'm full of ADHD, but I don't have enough ADHD apparently to play Smash, because it's too much visual noise, and I can't keep up, and it's just too much. I can't do it. And even the pull of Batman and Superman and Bugs Bunny, I guess, like, is not quite enough to go, I'd pay for this. If it's free to play, why not? Speaking of paying for things, though, let's get into the section of the show where we just kind of shill for like 5 minutes. Hey, Max. The colder months are approaching, and it's time for you to prioritize the comfort of your crutch. That's why the kings of crutch comfort, that is a fucking tagline right there, Manscaped, have spent 2 years designing the most comfortable boxer briefs out there. So breathable that it's like gills for your groin.
I just want to point out that I want to shout out to Manscaped for sending me a way cooler pair than you.
Oh, I got like basic bitch black, and you got ball bags with sunnies.
I've got ball sacks with sunnies, so get around it.
It's so so they even trademark the jewel pouch, so it's serious. Heads up, the jewel pouch is this part in the it's kind of like swimsuit material, but for your dick, which is also swimsuit material. Doesn't change. So you let your bulge breathe, and while also getting 20% off and free shipping using the promo code FTP at au.manscaped.com. Now, let's say, Max, that you're on a date. Unlikely, because you're married. I'm separated.
Hey, I have date nights with my wife.
Yeah, but like
to be fair, they're very few and far between.
Yeah, but like she's very aware of your use of Manscaped. It makes sense. You said I'm separated, and I'm not going on any dates because I don't want to. But let's say I did, and this person catches the Manscaped on the waistband of my underwear. It's almost guaranteed to raise some eyebrows and act like a billboard for the highway to Pleasure Town. That is not what I call my front area. That is the Manscaped read right there.
I'd call it Pleasure Town.
Yeah. Why should we call it Pleasure Town, Max?
So, this is thanks to their Lawnmower 4.0, the best electric trimmer for below-the-waist grooming. Their trimmer offers skin-safe technology designed to trim hair on loose skin. And outside of just ball trimming, they're now focusing their efforts on helping out your thigh slappers in other ways with some game-changing boxes.
I fucking love these reads.
These boxes features include the Jewel Pouch, a pouch designed to cradle your boys in their own special space, lined with perforated performance fabric to keep them well ventilated. Basically, just imagine your balls sipping pina coladas and chilling on a hammock on some tropical beach. The micromodal fabric is buttery soft and breathable, keeping your cucumber cool, walk, run, or strut. These moisture-wicking boxes breathe without breaking a sweat. And the tagless waistband hugs your body without digging in and lays flat against your skin to reduce all chafing. And the front fly opening gives easy access and makes bathroom breaks quick and efficient. And you can choose from an arrangement of designs and colors and sizes ranging from small to 3XL for all of the guys out there.
Now, one thing I have to applaud the Manscaped on is the introduction of the dick hole. Like, you look over at other branded boxer briefs, ones that use these bamboo-esque material or whatever, it is this micro suede material. Number of them don't have the dick hole. dick hole, incredibly important.
For context.
Yeah, for context, the dick hole, the fly at the front. It's the amount of things that don't have it baffles me. But you can get your own Manscaped underpants, dick trimmer, body hair, body wash things, all the things, by heading over to au.manscaped and using the promo code FTP. It'll get you 20% off plus free worldwide shipping. In case you're deaf, let's say it again. It's 20% off and free worldwide shipping using the promo code FTP at au.manscaped.com. And once the boxes 2.0 touch your sack, you'll never go back.
Man, they're such fun ad reads.
Oh, fuck. Like, I appreciate them sponsoring the show and supplying us with the product. But fuck, if I just got to read these for the fun of it, I totally would. Like, I technically haven't invoiced them yet. So I'm saying this for the fun of it. I probably should invoice them. Maybe I shouldn't, because this is just fun. All right, Max. Let's get in the section we call Inform the Players. We tell you about what happened this week in PlayStation.
As we all know, the new PlayStation Plus is coming. It actually launches in like 2 days in the Asia market, I believe.
Oh, shit.
We
get a month later.
We get at the back end of June. So earlier this week, Sony announced some of the games heading to the new PlayStation Plus service, launching over the next few weeks. We got to look at some PS5 and PS4 games. So we've got the likes of from PlayStation Studios. There is a ton of games coming. We've got Alienation from Housemarque, Bloodborne, Concrete Genie, Days Gone. A lot of these titles are in the PlayStation collection for those people who own PS5s. We've got stuff like Demon Souls, Death Stranding, and the Director's Cut. We've got Gravity Rush 2 and Gravity Rush Remastered. We've got the likes of Marvel's Spider-Man and Miles Morales. We've got Medieval, Patapon 1 and 2 Remastered, Resogun, Returnal. A lot of these, newer PS5 launches are coming as well. It's fantastic. Last of Us Remastered, Last of Us Left Behind, Until Dawn, all the Uncharted's. And then you've got the third-party people. We've got Ashen. The third part, well, technically third-party partners, I guess. It was also announced that Ubisoft Plus,
yeah,
Ubisoft
Plus.
Is
it Uplay Plus or Ubi Plus Play? Fuck, some poorly named thing.
Whatever Ubisoft Plus's thing is, we're getting all of those. There'll be 50 games by the end of the year. There's about 20-ish at launch, so we're going to get the Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We're going to get a bunch of other stuff. We've got Control Ultimate Edition coming. Obviously, that's not part of Ubisoft. We've got Dead Cells, Final Fantasy 15, which are, again, a part of the collection. We've got Resident Evil, Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's
if you want to join Ryan in his Rootin' Tootin' Cowboy shooting.
Which you should.
The Artful Escape, Soul Calibur, The Crew 2, plus like a ton of others. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, because Square already said that it didn't perform well, so let's just give it away for free, I guess.
And and even then, we get the beginnings of some of the classic games that they were originally talking about. Some of them are sort of the remakey remasters, like there's Ape Escape 2, which was originally reported to PS4. A number of games made that list, but like some of the ones we are aware of is like Siphon Filter, which we expected, obviously from Sony Bend.
Tekken 2, yeah. Worms World Party, Worms Armageddon.
Where's fucking Tekken 3 is the real question.
Yeah, I want to play. I want to play Tekken Ball mode.
Yeah, Tekken 3. So much
we've got the Dark Clouds. We've got Jack 2, Jack 3, Jack X, Jack and Daxter. We've got Baja Edge Control, BioShock Remastered, the Borderlands Handsome Collection, the Lego Harry Potter Collection. And then a bunch of PS3 games that we can't play here in Australia because, like, fuck us, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, like, the original Demon Souls as opposed to, last year's Demon Souls.
Both infamous titles.
1 and 2.
Resistance, fuck.
The old Ratchet and Clanks.
God damn it.
Castlevania, Lords of Shadow 2, the Devil May Cry HD Collection, Fear, Ninja Gaiden, Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare, like a ton of game. Obviously, this isn't the full list because they said there was going to be about 700 titles. This is clearly a lot less, but it's pretty cool to see that we're getting some of the newer titles that obviously, you know, they're not going to be day and date like Games Pass, but we are still getting fairly new stuff, which is awesome.
Like Forbidden West is on the list, and that's like 6 months out. So that's I would say that 6 months is likely the turnaround time that you'd expect it from release day through to PSPlus. So that's reasonable, I think, for those that don't want to buy it and want to wait instead. Because if you're paying $15 a month or whatever, and you pay for 6 months, well, you're paying for a lot more than a $60 US game. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna win in the long run. Like, but yeah, look, there's a couple of challenges. Like, as much as this list is really good.
Just before you get into that, it should be noted that the Ubisoft Plus Classics are only available on the extra or premium tiers. They are not part of the essentials.
Yeah, it's tier 2 and 3, not tier 1.
The tier 2 and 3. And they've got like Far Cry 3 for Honor, the South Park games, the Star Trek games, the Division, Watch Dogs, and a couple of other ones. But they're expecting to get around 50 games by the end of the year.
Yeah,
it's cool.
So my one challenge that I have with this list, man, this is a really good list if you've never played any of these games before.
I mean, that's how generally it works.
Yeah, but it's even the same as Game Pass, right? Like, because I'm like, this is such a good list, but I've played near on everything. And I'm like, well, what's the incentive for me to get it?
Well, this is the incentive for you to get it, Ryan. Sony Ben took to Twitter to announce the Siphon Filter, one of the games coming to the new service, will be receiving trophies.
Fuck.
It is unclear if all games will be receiving trophies. It may be up to the individual developer, but with Ben being first party, it makes sense that they may put in a little extra work to get the trophies in there.
God damn it, that is an incentive. Yeah, that is an incentive. Yeah.
I mean, for some people,
well, because the first Siphon Filter is not too long. It's not as good as you remember, but it plays okay. You know, it's one of, if you can run through it and get some pretty easy trophies, sure. Yeah, that is the incentive to use the system, use the service. Period. Like, there's a bunch of games you either didn't have trophies for, or just simply didn't because they're on PS1 or PS2. But if you're someone that maybe didn't have a PS3, if you've got if you're based not anywhere but Australia, you can play the PS3 versions and run it. I think that's the thing that shits me off the most, is that I would want to play the PS3 games. That's what I care more about on this list, and I can't go back and play them. Like, I have a PS3, it's on the shelf over there, but I don't want to worry about it. And
I wonder if there's a weird workaround if you had like a US account.
I'm sure you could VPN it potentially, but then the lag would be ball bags. Because it was all about the input delay would be huge. But admittedly, a friend of mine, Lee, he one of his things he does in his spare time is just rejigger old consoles. So he's got himself one of the original 60 gig PS3s, the one that had the inbuilt hardware backwards compatibility for PS2, and then of course the software for PS1. And he's going to he's going to sell it to me. So, because one of the biggest problems that I have is I'm like, I've got a huge PS2 collection. I'd love to go back and play them occasionally, but I ain't rigging up PS2, like AV cables and shit, components and shit. Nah, if I can run it through a PS3, but it's HDMI. That's an easy setup. It uses the same figure 8 plug as my PS5, same HDMI cable as my PS5. It's easy. But it's one of those things I shouldn't have to. So I should be able to play it using the new PSPlus service here. What do you think, Max?
One day, maybe. if the demand for it is high enough, if they get enough of the, what are they calling it here down under, the deluxe?
Deluxe, yeah.
Maybe if they get enough of the deluxe tiers, I'll see that people will be like, and like, our internet infrastructure is probably not that bad. Like, a lot of people that live in like the city, like metro areas, have probably got a decent enough internet connection to do it. The people that don't, just won't buy that tier, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, and we've talked about it here in our
shitty situation.
Yeah, friends of the show, the Explosion Network, they broke a story couple of years ago about this essential server farm based out of Adelaide, and we've still heard nothing for it. What is it? We need to know. Dylan spent like $50 on an unnecessary long-time subscription to some Adelaide newspaper, and then he couldn't work out how to cancel it, hence why he spent so much money on it. He needs to earn that $50. And I want to know, I want PS Now or PSPlus, fucking whatever, here in this country. What about the games list though, Max? Does the games list tickle your fancy?
Yeah, I think some of them are cool. I'm in that weird situation of a lot of the games that I would go back and play, I own. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, I own the Ape Escape and Ape Escape 2 already, so I can just play them whenever I want. It really depends on what the rest of those PS1, PS2 classics are going to be for me.
Yeah, it's difficult because, like, granted, we're in a great position in terms of us. We've been in this biz for a little while, so we have a pretty extensive back catalog for at least PS4 and certainly PS5 of games that we've had review codes for. So, on most of the things that have made this list are games that we have either played for review, were given review codes for, or we picked up to fill in the gaps. You know what I mean? There's very little that we haven't played, and is this for that reason?
I think they've picked great PS4 and PS5 titles to onboard people onto the service. Like you said, a lot of them are the big ones that probably most people have played if they've got a PS4 or PS5. But for those who haven't, like the slightly more smaller titles, like Returnal, for instance. Returnal was a big ask at $125 when it came out. And if this now means a lot more people get to play that and try that out, that's awesome.
But additionally, and once again, this is the world that we don't live in, so I can only speculate. I know you've done it in the past. You'd return your games all the time. You trade them in for something else. So a lot of people may have really enjoyed a game and then traded in because they wanted the other thing and they didn't have the money. So having a service that allows them to replay old games that they would have traded in, that's a pretty incentive alone. Like, I'm a hoarder. I don't get rid of my shit. So, it's tough. It's a tough balance in that sense. But, we're very interested to see all you lovely people at home listening, watching. What's your thoughts? Because, like, it's interesting that you and I, we're not fanboys. We're big PlayStation advocates, obviously. We do a show about it every week. We've done nearly 250 episodes, this fucking thing. But you and I are sitting here going, not for us. But I do believe that comes from a place of privilege, though.
I am in the mind of, I want to try the new thing, because it's a new thing. I will probably buy a year's worth of it. And what will determine whether or not I renew it or drop back to Essentials is
classics.
How often I actually go back and play those classics. I know myself, I am generally one of those people who generally, once he's done with something, he very rarely goes back.
Yep.
There's been a few exceptions to that rule, most of them being Final Fantasy titles. or Dark Souls and all of that fun stuff. But generally speaking, I tend to not go back, and it'll be interesting. Like, I think I'll be like, oh, I remember this game as a kid. I'll play 20 minutes of it and be like, wish I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Because it was way cooler the way I remembered it.
For me, one of the advantages / disadvantages of my ADHD is object permanence. Once I consider it gone, it's gone. So, like, I've had my time with that game. Fucking see ya. And never think about it again. So the idea of going back and playing old games, I'm like, yeah, but I have new shit. And the nature of what we do, there's always moving forward as well. But something that's coming real soon. Your PS5, Max. It's getting a new wardrobe. It's getting a new outfit. So first announced alongside the original batch of PS5 console covers, Sony has this week confirmed that 3 new variants will be available over the next month. They include Nova Pink, Starlight Blue, and the incorrectly named Galactic Purple when it should be, in fact, PopC Purple. These retail for about $55 US. I think it's like $80 Australian or something stupid.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, about that.
Saying that though, so as someone that literally has a purple PS5 because I had it a day and then I got the panels worked on by a friend of the show Ethan over at Tag Mods. Go check him out across socials. I'm probably still going to buy these because the purple ones I have, paint's shipping off a little bit. But these ones being full complete purple plastic, beautiful. There is a purple controller out there that I haven't picked up yet. I've got a white one that I'm bored of. I'm going to go trade it for a purple one. I'm going to put it all together, and then I'll be happy. I'll be content. Not that I'm unhappy with what I've got now, but it feels like a new coat of paint without literally doing anything. And Mad Dog in the chat, did someone say PopC? I say PopC all day, every day, because it's the channel that we are on, Mad Dog. I presume I lost, by the way. Mad Dog's, the TCW's finished. He's in the chat. I presume we lost. I presume Max, as my manager, you did not do anything to help me.
No, I sounds like not my job.
No. So look, you've got your sweet Dark Souls, Demon Souls console. It's very unlikely you're going to pick up any of these. Even though Starlight Blue is more of that weird bleen that I can't see. It's that weird blue green. So I'm debating just buying the bleen cover to go. Oh, I fucking hate this color because I can't see it properly. It makes my eyes hurt. And just every time I look at my PlayStation, it would just be funny.
That's a good way to spend like $80.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, but it would fill me with happiness and anger at the same time. It would be a very interesting experience.
Let's talk some PlayStation TV.
Okay.
I thought there was going to be more to this. So on our Word doc, it's set up as if there was going to be more to it, but it's just Twisted Metal news. So over the weekend, it was confirmed that Brooklyn Nine-Nine star Stephanie Beatrice would be playing the car thief called Quiet, and now Thomas Haddon Church has been signed up as Agent Stone. For those who don't know who that is, it's Sandman from Spider-Man.
Oh! And we should also mention Mad Dog rated us with a party 6. Hey, Mad Dog, thank you very much. Should also add that.
Both will be working alongside Marvel's Anthony Mackie, who will play John Doe as he seeks to deliver a mysterious package in an apocalyptic wasteland. Yeah. So
we should mention Stephanie Beatrice is Diaz, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I said from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, but you didn't say Diaz?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, correction. Yeah.
She's also in now I'm not going to be able to Encanto.
Oh, shit, Encanto.
Yeah, she's the main character in Encanto.
Oh, shit. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Good casting. I think she would fit very comfortably in a Twisted Metal-esque world. She's got that right level of like not give a fuck attitude and that kind of just like badassness that I think would really, really pan off in Twisted Metal. Pulse check. Are you even remotely excited for this?
Not at all.
Like, I know you've gone on the record about your distaste for Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, I was about to say, why don't I like Anthony Mackie for a start? I also don't have a love for the series because I've never played a Twisted Metal game.
Yeah. Like,
it's not for me. It's for someone, and that someone is not me.
Look, I'll check it out because I feel compelled to do so because of the show. But other than that, I'm probably not going to watch it.
I'll probably end up watching it, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens. But it's on Peacock. I don't even know how to get Peacock in Australia.
Oh fuck! I'll just acquire it by other means. Look, one thing I am excited for though, Max, is the upcoming God of War Ragnarok, and this week.
It's not coming out until next year.
Shut up, Max. Shut up. God of War Studio Sony Santa Monica took to PlayStation blog this week to mark Global Accessibility Awareness Day by sharing an early glimpse at more than 60 accessibility options that will ship with the upcoming title. These include brand new features designed to make the title more accessible, clearly, as well as ones the developer implemented with the PC versions of God of War. To show a few of them off, some were very short but very new clips of the game have been released. Carried over from the PC version of the 2018 release will be the ability to auto-sprint, an always-on reticle to reduce motion sickness. And 1 second, sorry, Discord just reset itself.
Computer died.
Hi. Discord. Thank you.
Yep.
Cool. I have to edit that now.
Yep. Cool.
Lame. New additions include greatly expanded subtitle and caption options. The subtitles in the first one were trash, so I'm glad they made them bigger, which is good. Which increased maximum text size, improve the readability of captions, and allow character names and bodies of text to be different colors. Other accessibility options in Ragnarok include adjusting the size of icons, button remapping, and a high contrast mode. You may remember something similar in The Last of Us Part 2. Quote, when active, this will apply a color layer to characters that will make them more visible against the background. You can optionally desaturate the background to further increase this contrast. Traversal paint, loot items, and special effects can also be made more visible in this mode. So think about it like the fucking detective mode in Arkham, where you bang it, the world goes like the world goes black, but your enemies go a different color. Things you can loot go a different color. It's like the Dead Eye in Red Dead as well. It's probably another example as well, or the kind of like the
scan pulse
in Horizon. Cool idea. Another neat accessibility option is audio cues. This feature links sounds to specific interactive prompts, like moving objects or pushing open doors. Quote, audio cues extend to additional combat cues like unblockable attack rings, targeting aim cues, and weapon swap cues. The volume of these audio cues can be adjusted separately from other volume sliders, so you can adjust for your own comfort. Now, we are committed to improving accessibility and customization for everyone. We can't wait to tell you the details about our other categories of accessibility features like combat, aim assist, puzzle, minigame assist, HUD adjustments, camera tuning, auto pickup, and much more, said lead UX designer Mila Pavlin. We can't wait to share more with you as we get closer to launch. Couple things here, Max. Old mate Coxie, fucking smartass, and the chat goes, God of War Ragnarok Game of the Year 2026. God damn you, Coxie. Now, look, I love all these features in this game. Is there any one downside, though? And this is the only downside that I think comparatively to, say, the Xbox One is. You still have to have two functioning hands to play these games, because there is no, like, adaptive controller that is supported by PlayStation. So, like, cool, it helps in a number of other ways, but you still have to have you still have to be not abilities challenged. Stepping stones, Max. It's good in one direction, but it just needs that little bit more. And look, as fully able-bodied people, and we don't, aside from my neurodiversity, as we discussed before, I'm pretty okay. It's good to know these features exist, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah. It's one of those things like I may not need them, but I'm so fucking glad they exist.
Yeah. Rumor mill time, Ryan.
Oh, yeah. Gimme.
So we talked about Silent Hill last week. Let's talk about it a little bit more this week. So perhaps the most persistent speculation is that Polish developer Bloober Team is working on a title in Silent Hill. Specifically, a remake of the iconic PS2 survival horror Silent Hill 2. We know the studio has signed a partnership with Konami, and we also know that it specializes in horror games. But the studio isn't saying a word about anything. Quote, we cannot comment on anything we are doing because we appreciate our relationship with our partners, of course, says boss Peter Bieno. We will make an announcement about our future projects as soon as we can.
That's pronounced Poiter? Like Peter, but more bogan? Poiter?
Maybe.
It's not.
So then you will know much more officially. End quote.
Sick. Silent Hill 2 is dope. I would much love Silent Hill 1, of course, but Silent Hill 2 is amazing. And if they're remaking 1, if they're remaking 2, I don't give a shit. Give me more Silent Hill. I've discussed this before. Each and every time the rumor mill has come up, I'm like, yes, give me more Silent Hill. I want it. That's exciting times. But one of the things that has this interesting that this rumor specifically around Silent Hill has failed to mention the one name that is constantly thrown around in Silent Hill rumors, and that is, of course, Hideo Kojima, who himself is getting rumor milled this week because Norman Reedus and his little carrying fetus, appeared to nonchalantly confirm Death Stranding 2 this week in an interview. The Walking Dead star revealed that work had, quote, just started on the Death Stranding sequel, before reiterating the point a second time. The series, developed by Kojima Productions, is directed by the auteur Hideo Kojima, who appeared to acknowledge the comments in a Twitter post. "Go to your private room, my friend," he said, with heart eyes and thumbs up emojis. He attached 3 photos showing himself grabbing Negan's baseball bat from The Walking Dead and then attacking Reedus with it. In the final picture, the pair appear to be friends again. Now, Max, you are very much on the record for expressing your absolute love for Death Stranding, as I have too. Because I think last time we recorded a Death Stranding 2 discussion, I don't think you were there or not. It was a year ago. Oh, you would have been there a year ago.
Yeah, I would have been there.
Do you want it?
I do. I just don't know where it would go. Because obviously the first game focused very much about that connection of America, because that's where the game was set.
Mm-hmm. And
to a degree, we played that story out. Like, where does it go from here? Like, we don't know. Did what happened in Death Stranding 1 happen to the rest of the world, or was this localized to America only? Are we going overseas, connecting the world together now? At what point do we just the characters in the story were so well designed and balanced with its let's say interesting gameplay choices,
unique gameplay choices
that I want more. I just don't know where that story would take me. Now, part of me is okay with that, as long as we get just as interesting and diverse characters that we did in the first one.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it will hit me as hard as the first one did, because I played it right before my kid was born.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it'll hit me as hard as what the first one did.
I think we're safe. I mean that in terms of, I do believe that the sequel will be good. In the same way that Metal Gear Solid 1 was awesome, then Metal Gear Solid 2 was just as awesome. And I trust that Kojima has the right level of fucking weirdness to find a new way to expand on a world and story that he's created. You know, he did it with Solid Snake. I can see him doing it here with, Norman Reedus' character whose name escapes me right now. Walker, Texas Ranger. Nope. Sam Porter Bridges.
Yes.
Sam Porter Bridges. Because you said, yeah, as you were right. Like, we did kind of tidy up the game at the end there, and everything sort of sorted itself out. But that is a reasonable thought. Like, what's next? It's reconnecting the world. Because essentially, from the discussion before the game was released, Kojima talked about how it being a game about tethering people together, and sort of that as almost like an analogy for the internet, right? So in the first game, you're essentially rebuilding the internet for America, and what's something the world is connected by. It's the internet. So suddenly you might be in Europe, you might be in Australia, you might be in Southeast Asia. Like, who knows?
According to the rest of the world, Australia doesn't have internet.
No, we don't have good enough internet for streaming games. But as long as that's not part of Death Stranding, we should be fine. Look, yeah, for me, I am more than excited for more Death Stranding. I think it's about a year ago, you and I pitched what we would want the sequel to be, and like what the things that we would need to hit, because it was just off the back of us finishing it, and we're like, ooh, let's see where this goes. But yeah, I think there's enough weirdness in that world to bring it back, and to expand on it. And of course, we may not see Troy Baker's character again, or any of the sort of the current actors that he used in the first one. I wouldn't. For me, one of the greatest things that Kojima has done, especially in recent years and the last couple of titles that he's done, is his interest in combining both the theatrical world of movies and TV with the interactive media that is games. And in that interview, Norman Reedus pretty much talks about how he got a phone call from Guillermo del Toro back in the day to be like, you're going to get a call from a dude named Hideo Kojima and you need to say yes. And I have a feeling that's one of those things, like, you know, Del Toro will maybe call some more people. And like with the success, like Death Stranding, although not like as big as a financial success as I think Sony wanted it to be, it was certainly apart from some people who very incorrectly scored at like 2s and 3s, it is very, you know, at least ambitious and critically received well.
Yeah.
So if you're an actor, and actors more and more are doing that transmedia, as they call it, you know, going between a bunch of different industries, if they are going to want to make the transition into video games, Kojima Games' way to do it, man. It's a bold strategy, and it will and I believe it will work, and it's fun. It's fun. I imagine it's fun to play. It's fun to watch. You know, like what was I watching the other day? I watched there was a TV show, and it had the guy that played Silence from Horizon in it. I was like, oh, holy shit. That's what that dude looks like in real life. That's crazy. What was I watching? I forget what it was.
John Wick.
Is he in John Wick? Who's he in John Wick?
Pretty sure he's in John Wick. Isn't he the hotel concierge?
No. The guy that plays Silence, the African-American gentleman. No, you're thinking of a very different man. I know who you're thinking of. Very much a white dude. Wait.
No, not at all.
Then who's the other fucking dude? There's another dude in a jacket. Like, I didn't narrow it down at all. Who's the other older gentleman? He has like, kind of looks like Dutch Vanderlyn from Red Dead.
You mean the guy who plays who's in American Gods?
Yeah, sure, that guy. Dude. Yeah, that old white dude.
That's not him. I'm talking about the guy who works behind the counter.
Yeah, isn't that him?
The guy who runs the hotel. No, you're confused.
Clearly.
He's also in Fringe. He's also in Fringe. He's an FBI agent in Fringe. I'm positive I'm thinking of the right dude.
Lance Riddick is in heaps of stuff. Fringe is an example, says
yes.
Pat.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah. I said.
Well, while I Google Lance Riddick to see what the fuck I saw him in, what's the next story?
London studio. So according to a new job listing, the developer wants a narrative design lead who can help.
Ian McShane was the hotel manager.
Yeah, I didn't say manager. I said concierge.
Yeah, I fucking got it wrong, all right? I thought the manager worked behind the counter. Like some good manager, you know, on the floor with the staff, with the people.
Anyway, according to a new job listing for London studio, the developer wants a narrative design lead who can help deliver rich lore and storytelling through a live service model. The listing mentions, quote, years of ongoing story and building rich, narratively exciting characters. So they've gone from rootin' tootin' PSVR shooting to live service RPG, possibly.
I ain't mad about that.
Yeah. Have you worked out if you're thinking about the right guy? Because I definitely was.
Yeah, look, you may have been, and so currently I have the IMDb for Lance Riddick open, and I'm scrolling, trying to remember what the fuck that I saw him in. Let's go. Okay, talks about him in Horizon. That wasn't it. It wasn't John Wick. I was in Quantum Break. Holy shit! All right, cool. Let's see.
He's in Destiny.
Yeah, he was in Destiny, but he's a voice, I presume. Apparently did a voice in Payday. All right, I'm starting to get into like early 2010s.
This is the Lance Riddick podcast.
Oh, he was in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't think that's where even though I'm watching Always Sunny again right now, I don't think that was it. Apparently he was in Lost. This guy's done fucking everything. What the hell he's in Oz? Man, Oz is a dope show. Oh, what a show. What was I watching that he was in? Apparently he was in The Nanny. Okay, I don't think you think he is who you No, he is exactly who I think he is, but I cannot for the life of me remember what I saw him in. Was it Always Sunny? It would have had to be Always Sunny. Look, my Ritalин's worn off, and this has really caught my attention. And there was an American Horror Story. I know everyone that's listening and or viewing, like, can you just like shut the fuck up? No, it wasn't Resident Evil because that's not out yet.
We want to know about EA.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll I'll let my brain tinker over this and we'll see what happens. All right, so apparently, Max, EA is looking to sell. So it's not Oz, but I'm distracted. All right. A report by PopC, what, as in Reverend PopC, our PopC?
No, there's an online publication called PopC.
Bullshit. Is that Reverend? No. A report by Reverend PopC, not that one, claims the Juggernaut recently pursued a merger with NBC Universal, but has also held discussions with Amazon, Apple, and Disney. While all of these talks eventually broke down, the Madden and FIFA maker, has not given up. According to, quote, several sources familiar, end quote, with the matter, EA has been emboldened by Microsoft's buyout of Activision and is, quote, persistent in pursuing a sale, end quote. However, some claim that the firm would prefer a merger, with current bigwig Andrew Wilson eager to remain as CEO of the hypothetical combined company.
So it sounds like he just wants the money but stay in charge.
Yeah, I want the money, but I want to still be the boss. I really don't think EA is worth a purchase.
Isn't that where games go to die? Hasn't that been the joke for the longest time where they mismanage their people so poorly that shit just goes AWOL?
Just so much shit dies. Like, Visceral, Maxis, Pandemic, yeah. A bunch of studios just fucking die. And right now, BioWare is currently dying through EA. So it's like, if I look at EA, and if I was a company that was like interested, they're like, hey, can you buy us? I'd be like, no.
And like they've also now lost their exclusivity over Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, and they just pulled out of fucking FIFA. So they've just pulled out of FIFA. That's one. They don't have the Star Wars exclusive license anymore. Oh, that's another one. They have destroyed old franchises like Command and Conquer and stuff. That was part of them. That's owned part of them now. Sims is bastardized. No one cares anymore. Even the Sims and also its variants, SimCity, etc., all long gone. You look at, is it BioWare? BioWare has been absolutely destroyed. Like, to me, there is very little that EA have, because even right now, outside of their regularly annualized releases of sports games, there is nothing that would make me want to go. Like right now, right? So look, a year or so ago, I finally reached out to EA Australia to get onto their press release and their media blast for PopC. And I did, and it was cool. And they're like, hey, what sort of titles were you looking at sort of covering and reviewing with us? And I went, because at the time they had just released, this might have been the year before, they had just released Squadrons. I was like, Squadrons? I didn't play anything else. You know what I mean? Because like outside of the sports games, fucking knows. Right? Like, am I wrong? That that's probably like not the best pickup?
Yeah, I guess it depends on, going from Paul James in the chat, they're fine. It's just that you can't allow EA to lead itself. If you grab them, you don't do what Xbox is doing with Bethesda.
No, well, yeah, no.
You bring them in and you manage them properly.
Yeah, the problem that once again, back to discussion we had last week or the week before, the problem with that Phil Spencer has, he can barely lead the teams that he has. So if he wants to take in another 20 fucking studios, he literally can't manage them. It's not, he and his team cannot manage them. I know everyone's like, oh, it's not Phil Spencer's job. It is literally his job. He is the face of all of this. He is the head of the team that manages all these studios, right? So it was like, oh, could you do it? No, but I'm not being paid to fucking do it. Phil Spencer is. He and his team are being paid to manage this shit. I can criticize them all I want because they are not doing their job right. And the same goes here, that if anyone were to pick up EA, you do not let them run themselves because, simply put, they have failed to do it themselves.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward on that one, I think. And like even with the idea of like a Dead Space next year, or like a Mass Effect in the future, Dragon Age 4 if it ever fucking comes out, there is nothing of really major game-changing note because Mass Effect has fucking been bastardized. Dragon Age, completely bastardized. There is nothing there, unless I'm being intentionally ignorant, or unintentionally ignorant, I should say. I can't think of anything that makes me go, EA is a must pick up. That's what happened.
Yeah. Quick bits, Ryan.
Yeah.
Star Wars KOTOR PS5 remake will apparently have news, quote, in the next several months.
All right. Vague.
The Witcher 3 PS5 version is currently targeting a Q4 release as the game celebrates its 7th anniversary. Last of Us PS5 remake allegedly will be a major holiday release this year.
Oh, okay.
Furthering my belief that God of War is not coming out this year.
It was Always Sunny, by the way. He plays Frank, a gentleman that Frank worked in a jazz bar in like the 60s. It's a very stupid storyline. But yeah, the answer was Always Sunny. Thank you for those paying attention to the Lance Riddick stuff.
Final Fantasy VII news has been planned for the game's 25th anniversary next month.
What do you think it is? Does it get you hard?
It'll be some mobile bullshit, most likely.
Wait, don't you think it'll be Remake 2?
I don't think it's going to be Remake 2 news. I want it to be, but I don't think it will be. I'm very jaded when it comes to Final Fantasy news. Dying Light developer is making an open-world fantasy action RPG. Dead by Daylight teases a second Resident Evil crossover, as well as an Attack on Titan crossover. Callisto Protocol news is set to drop this week. And Fall Guys is going free to play, coming to PlayStation 5 21st of June, with apparently a level editor.
And
level
cross-platform.
And cross-platform.
You'll actually be able to get a game in Fall Guys now.
And for those who are interested in the Marvel game that was announced earlier this week, it is Marvel Stone from the team who used to work on Hearthstone. It is a card game. It's a card Marvel game.
Oh, that's kind of tempting though. I shat on it on the day, but like I like Marvel enough to be like, ooh.
I may or may not have signed up for it. Like,
well, because look,
because I'm a huge Hearthstone fan.
Yeah, like you.
And if it's just Marvel Stone, because it's by Ben Brode and his new team, I'm super keen. Like they kind of worked on Hearthstone for ages, and then they kind of pieced out and let the new team take over Hearthstone. To see that they've been working on, I think they said that they've been working on this game for about 4 years, and it's not turn-based. You both take your turns simultaneously. Apparently, they're like 3-minute matches. They're super fast-paced. They've got all that fun Marvel IP stuff. Awesome.
See, you yourself and a number of people I know have praised the living shit out of Hearthstone, and the problem that I have is I give no shits about the lore of Hearthstone, right? I give a shit about Marvel products. So like the idea of like, it's the same goes with DC Deck Builder, which is a physical card game. I fucking love it, but I love it because it's DC characters and I understand characters and their attacks, their specials, their whatever all make sense to their character. So I don't have to, because one of the biggest problems that I have with board games is when it's the cards, like all these ifs, ands, thens, ends, or buts that those cards provides, I'm not smart enough to comprehend it. But if I can comprehend it through, like, it's Iron Man, I know the bracket, the scope in which Iron Man as a character exists, I can understand what an Iron Man card would do. And instantly the game becomes more understandable for me, which is why I loved it's why I love Marvel Crisis Protocol, the miniatures game. For the exact same reason, because I can frame it around Marvel. If I was to play like War Machine or Hordes, I'm like, I don't fucking know what these characters are. I don't have the brain capacity to learn all new character classes, etc. Not happening. Callisto Protocol, we talked about fucking Dead Space remake before. These are the leftovers of Pandemic, the Visceral, sorry, not Pandemic. the original team behind Dead Space and their spiritual successor. That's pretty exciting. Last of Us Remake coming out at the back end of the year. I still don't think we need it, but unless it comes with Last of Us Part 2, which I don't see it having a remastered version of that, having both those games available on PS5 would make sense, but I don't see why Last of Us needs to be the Skyrim of PlayStation and be on every console since it's released. Doesn't make sense. Am I going to play it? Yes. Shut up. Upcoming titles. On the 24th of May, we get MX versus ATV Legends coming to PS5 and PS4. 25th of May, we have Blow and Fly coming to PS4. My nicknames in high school.
Blow and Fry. Blow and Fry. not Blow and Fly.
Oh,
Blow and Fry.
That was, yeah. Yeah, still works. Roller Champions coming to PS4. That's the game from Ubisoft. It's pretty sweet.
Yep.
26th of May, Arcade Archives Plotting, PS4. Sniper Elite 5 coming to PS5 and PS4. It looks pretty sweet. On the 27th of May, get ready for a list of games. Arcade Spirits, the new challenges, PS5, PS4. KO, the Kangaroo, PS5 and PS4. What the fuck? Moolander.
Like the most un-Australian name, too.
Yeah, it sounds like a real shitty version of Taz the whatever, and or, anything like that. Moolander, the hell? PS4, clearly the game of the week. My Little Pony, a maritime bay adventure, coming to PS4. Pac-Man Museum Plus, coming to PS4. And Remote Life, PS5 and PS4. Side note, this week, Outright Games, the studio behind much beloved games in this household, Paw Patrol on a Roll, PJ Masks, and as well as, what's the other? Yeah, so PJ Masks, Paw Patrol on a Roll, Paw Patrol Save Adventure Bay, PJ Masks Into the Night. My son loves them. They announced this week that they are making a Paw Patrol Mario Kart rip, and I can't fucking wait. I'm super excited. I'm gonna play it. My kid's gonna love it. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. It's success. Thumbs up for me.
A Paw Patrol car racer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Holy shit! And while we were bullshitting about Paw Patrol on a Screamus in the chat with a raid of 10 peoples. Thank you very much. Pinky Brick gave us the follow, and of course, and Royal Rooster been watching like a creep. Ooh, a good show, and we'll catch up on the stuff I missed tomorrow. Thank you very much to everyone. Much appreciated. It's bad timing because we're just about to wrap up the show. We've done all the chats about the PlayStations. We talked about the games that are coming, all the rumors, etc. We're about to round this bad boy out. We'll hang around and chat for a while, as we do sometimes in the chat. But it'll be good times. Max, even these lovely people that just came here, if they want to hear more PlayStation stuff, but not right now, what do they do?
Well, everyone, this PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to take part in future conversations with us, you can. Come and check out our socials. Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and Twitter. All of those links can be found in the description below.
If you want to join us as the conversation, you can by heading over to twitch.tv/thepopculturist, where you can watch us record this show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation pod. If you are listening on podcast service, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you are watching us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. If you want to support the show financially, you can. Tell your friends. Wait, I've already done that part. If you want to support the show financially, you can by heading over to our merchandise store, popculturist.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. Or you can help support the brands that help support us by heading over to au.manscaped.com using the promo code FTP. Get yourself a nice pair of fucking underpants with ball bags and sunnies on them using the promo code FTP. 20% off, free worldwide shipping, au.manscaped.com. And there's a Patreon in there as well. Totally skipped it. I clearly had a stroke halfway through the end of that. So, but until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And that was For the Players.